It has been my experience that ordinary and mystical are both words that we could use to frequently describe life. As Quakers, we are people who have long held that this is true, that the common and the transcendent are bound together. We are a people who seek God in what might seem the most barren places. We seek God in silence, in stillness, in the lull, in the moments that are the opposite of the ornamentation of ritual and sacrament and liturgy. We are a people enamored with the common, the everyday, the basic, the fundamental. We love the unadorned. Quakers are a people who see God all around. And it is this idea that we are drawn to in this passage from Matthew. I think many scholars of theology, or certainly many of my professors at Princeton Theological, would say that Quakers are a people with a fully realized eschatology. But of course, the truth is a little bit more complex than that. For those of us who are Christian, we certainly do put our theological emphasis upon the life and teachings of Jesus. And many, although certainly not all, Quakers would say that the divine already walks among us. George Fox wrote in chapter 6 of his journal, "There I declared the everlasting truth of the Lord and the word of life for several hours." You think I ever preach long? "Showing that the Lord was come to teach his people himself." Many Quakers would say that we are not waiting for the end times, for Christ's return, for the coming of the kingdom of heaven, because the kingdom of heaven lives here among us, and the divine is with us, teaching us and creating little pockets of transcendence in the ordinary. In our passage for this morning, Jesus says, "For I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I was naked and you gave me clothing. I was sick and you took care of me. I was in prison and you visited me." And when those hearing Jesus respond with confusion, Jesus tells them, "Truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of these, you did it to me." The real message here is that we encounter the divine when we care for the destitute, for those who have been abandoned, abused, rejected, or misunderstood. And for me, this is one of the fundamental truths of my faith. I encounter God in unexpected places. It has often been my experience that I encounter God when I encounter people who have been dismissed by society, people who have been forgotten or overlooked, people who are unwanted or hurt or scared or hungry, homeless or abused. I believe that there is something deeply Quaker about this passage from Matthew and about its message about encountering God and the prisoner and the sick, the homeless and the hungry. Quaker poet and singer and songwriter Carrie Newcomer sings about this truth in the song Geodes, which was released on Geography of Light. Newcomer sings this: "You can't always tell one from another, and it's best not to judge a book by its tattered cover. I have found when I tried or looked deeper inside, what appears unadorned may be wondrously formed. You can't always tell, but sometimes you just know." Around here, we throw geodes in our gardens. They're as common as the rain or corn silk in July. Unpretentious browns and grays, the stain of Indiana clay. They're what's left of shallow seas, glacial rock, and mystery. And inside there shines a secret bright as promise. All these things that we call familiar are just miracles clothed in common places. You'll see if you try in the next stranger's eyes. God walks around in muddy boots, sometimes rags, and that's the truth. You can't always tell, but sometimes you just know. I think the challenge to all of us is clear. Let us go forth and each day seek the divine in the baggers at the grocery store, in the noisy teenagers waiting for the bus, in death row prisoners and street preachers. Let us greet God at the Greensboro Urban Ministry, at the Pathways Center. Perhaps Christ is holding a sign and standing at the corner of New Garden and Friendly. Perhaps the Spirit is breathing through the dying woman lying in a hospital bed who is breathing her last breaths. Perhaps we could meet God in the undocumented workers who are doing yard work, or perhaps among transgendered youth. Drag queens, garbage collectors, politicians, prisoners, preschoolers. The divine encounters us, and we encounter the divine in unexpected places. Every moment could be brushed with grace. You can't always tell, but sometimes you just know.